The Zeigarnik or Zeigarnik Effect, depending on how you want to pronounce it, it's an effect that was found by psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik. Who knows how you spell the name? But the important part is that she discovered that our brain is taking up of space from uncompleted tasks. So when you complete a task, your brain puts it away. And when you have a task that is yet to be completed, your brain keeps it in the forefront until it is completed. What happens in relationships is the same effect. You can apply it into relationships. When you abruptly end a relationship, or someone leaves you abruptly, or something just didn't close up right, which is most of the time, then our brain keeps it open because it feels it's an uncompleted task. It feels as there's still work to be done here. It does not see the closure. So this effect applies in the fact that when you can't stop thinking about her or the relationship or going back, or you're just obsessed with this person, this is that effect taking place. The regular world, psychologists observed that waitresses that had an order that wasn't paid for yet always remember the order. Yet orders that were already paid for, they couldn't recall that order, even though it might have just happened. So what happens is she saw that the brain automatically just puts away information that you've already used, or that it feels that you don't have a need for it. That's why when you study for a test and you learn everything and you take the test and you remember everything and you put it down, once the test is done, you can go back to that material and you probably won't remember a lot of it because your brain stores it away. It doesn't need that in the forefront. The brain tries to keep important things in the forefront, those tasks that are yet to be completed. And it does not judge whether that task is productive or not, meaning your brain does not know that the relationship is over. Your brain is trying to come to terms that it's a pause, it's a break, but that task needs to be done. That relationship needs to be closed. And when you don't close that relationship in a way that your brain understands this is over, you won't move on. And this will linger on for years, if maybe not a lifetime. So closed relationships go in the past. That goes in the vault. Abruptly ended relationships always stay in the forefront somehow until you figure out a way to let your brain know that it's over. You don't have to reach out to that person and ask for closure. You shouldn't if you left in a way that wasn't optimal. But what you could do is you could write a story to your brain saying this is over and this is the new ending to the story. And obviously you have to believe it. Your brain has to believe it, which is the difficult part because you know it's not true. So how do you get this done? Well, first, you need to write it. Write it down. Write down how did the relationship end that it's just over. It would just never be again. And then you need to reread this and you need to brainwash yourself because you can brainwash yourself. Just like you're watching something constantly over and over again, it's brainwashing you to either like a product or a service. You can brainwash yourself into believing that the story ended because actually that is the truth. Now, it didn't end in the way that you're saying it ended, but your brain just needs to know that it can close that and put it in the vault and you'll be able to move on a lot faster, a lot quicker than just lingering these memories and these things and these emotions, and because your brain is trying to close that loop and there is no closure. So when they say you need closure, you really do. But you don't need closure from the person. You can't control that person, but you can't control your brain. So you need to tell your brain, you need to tell yourself, whatever you need to do to convince yourself, brainwash yourself, believe that it's over because it really is. So stop believing that there's a chance. Stop believing that maybe time. Stop believing that she's going to text you. Stop believing that she's going to call you. Stop believing that everything's going to go back to the way things were because it is not. Even if you went back, it will never be the same. So stop believing that you can go back in time to a time that you felt was better. You can only move forward to a time that will be better. With that person or without them, it doesn't matter. You need to understand you're moving forward. You need to close this chapter. Your brain needs to know this so that this effect doesn't keep you up at night thinking about what is this person doing? Who is she with? Why she's not calling? Why she's not replying? Blah, 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 blah. You're doing that because you're in a loop. Break the loop. Only you can break it. This video won't break it for you. You need to close this story, accept it, Cry if you need to. Let it all go. You have to let it go. You have to close that chapter. So you're not keeping your brain busy looping something that's not real. Meanwhile, the next thing is walking right by you. You're missing out because you don't have space for this new thing to develop. You need to close this, open the new one, and go down that path. Those are the real ways to really get over breakups quickly. I'm giving you things that you can do right now to get over this person. You can get over them right this second. Well, at least start to get over them if you close that loop. Accept that it's over. Then start imagining that new future. What's your new girl looking like? What is she going to be like? Who is she? Start believing that that person is out there. Start, instead of imagining what is your old girl doing and with who, start imagining what is my new girl doing and where is she waiting for me at? That's a better story. And as soon as your brain can close this one and engage on the next one, you feel a relief. Obviously, it takes time. You're not going to be over this person, depending on how deep and long the emotional connection was. It's not going to be overnight. But overnight, you'll feel better in the morning. Right now, you can start feeling better, and every day better and better and better until you're stronger than ever. You're going to be stronger than you were, to the point that when she comes back, if she comes back, who cares? You don't care. So I want to give you this tip. This is based on science. This isn't, philosophy or feelings or manifestation. No, this is scientific fact that you have a loop that keeps this person open. That's an unfinished task in your brain and in your heart and in your soul. Wherever it is, it's unfinished. So your brain keeps it open. Close it. Force close it. Do whatever it takes for you to understand that it's over. It hurts. You don't want to believe that. That's what you keep thinking about her.